With 5 straight defeats and seemingly more questions than answers, is this a breaking point for Charlotte FC? Find out this and a lot more on Charlotte for the Week. What is up, everybody? Happy Friday, everybody's favorite day of the week. And as you see, coming to you with a special guest today. So, a quick little introduction. This is Amy Mateer. Currently we'll call you the mama bear of Section 233, right?
I'll take
Season
it.
tickets owner since day one, has 4 daughters that come to all the games with us. We'll whoop your ass at cornhole as well. Again, it's Amy Mateer. Welcome.
Thank you.
Applause. Yeah,
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, just wanted to bring her on, give another fresh perspective. I know you guys probably get tired of listening to me all the time, so
let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it.
Yeah, just wanted to kind of get her in and see what she had to say as well. So before we really get started, though, just a quick introduction, like what kind of got you interested in Charlotte FC and what do you think the experience feels like overall?
So we got excited about Charlotte FC. Both my husband and I played soccer growing up. Brian played in college, so when he heard there was a professional soccer team coming to Charlotte, he's like, Amy, we're doing it. Yeah. So we started out thinking we were only going to get 2 season tickets, but then we ended up with 6, and we've had 6 since day one. The experience is amazing. It's a great time for our family to be together. We've met friends through the whole experience. And
talk about me.
That's right. It's just something fun that we look forward to every time there's a home game on Saturday, and we try to go to away games when we can. So it's just a really good family time and a Charlotte team that actually makes the playoffs, so you can get excited about it.
Hopefully. We'll get into that
It's
in a little
early.
bit.
It's still early, Mark.
I know it. Well, no, yeah, appreciate that. And yeah, as like I said, met her when I got my season tickets a couple years ago, and great family. Part of the reason why I like to do this and why I encourage all of you guys to come out as well, right? It's a family atmosphere. Everybody enjoys the games, enjoys the Saturday atmosphere, and Amy is certainly a part of that. So appreciate you joining and look forward to having a couple conversations
Sounds
with you.
Good.
Awesome.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to your recap of Charlotte FC. And last week we played against Chicago Fire. Unfortunately, we ended that in a loss of Charlotte 1, Chicago Fire. Mark, you actually had the score correct, but in reverse. This is
terrible.
I don't know, what is this year's second time of doing that?
I think so. Yeah, might need to start predicting the other team to win every time.
There you go.
Perhaps not. But this is our 5th straight loss of the season. And we've got about 13 goals conceded in the last 4 games, which is a significant amount of goals that we're getting scored on. Not typically how Charlotte plays. I think they're just in a rough spot. But it is what it is. But 8 goals conceded in the first 10 matches. So definitely not the best we've played, but that's okay. And then we're 21st in the league in goals against. So I don't know, Mark, how are you feeling after last week's game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously all horrible, kind of stats there. We, finished, 2nd in the league last year in goals against, and they're sitting now 21st after this goal barrage against us. 2 games we've given up 4, 13 in the last 4, as you just pointed out, which is just an insane amount. That's the most in the league over that time. So, and there's a team that gave up 7 in one game, and we still have more goals against them in that tier. So, I've got a lot to say, and I guess, just kind of jumping in on it. Last week, I spent a long 38-minute video telling you guys to be calm, be patient. And really the reason why was because I thought I saw the vision. I thought I saw that they were going to change that formation, go to that back 3. And yes, there's going to be growing pains in learning a new formation. I 100% understand that could be a situation. But what disappointed me and what I was upset was, again, we get to the game, we go watch, well, they're back to the back 4, right? Just like they had been before. And so to me, I mean, I hate to call him out. I love the guy, but to me, Dean Smith is to blame, maybe for this loss. I'm not saying for the season and how it's gone over the last month and a half, but why go change something for one game, especially when it was a midweek game? I mean, they could have only practiced it 2 or 3 times and then go roll it out on the field to lose that game, just to turn back around and again have another game where you go back to the back 4. So it's like, what happened to that lack of the identity, right? I came into the season saying, hey, if nothing else, we can always lean on our defense and our goalkeeper, at the end of the games, and we know that we have that kind of established. I feel like this kind of changing back and forth, waffling, is only going to hurt the team, because then that creates a lack of identity moving forward. What do you think, Amy?
I don't think that's going to be the last time we see just the 3-back. I think part of the reason why he changed up our formation was we played Orlando, and we played them so many times last year.
That's a good point.
That I think he was like, let's just give them something unexpected.
Okay.
They did only have 2 days to practice, and I think maybe they thought, we'll go back to what we're comfortable with. We're at home. Let's get back in the groove. This is what we do. This is our, identity. We're strong defensively.
Sure.
Didn't work out on Saturday at all.
No.
But I think I do think there were a lot of good things that came out of that formation.
I thought so.
I thought Zaha being more centrally offensive minded and in the center really gave us a lot of options for him to play out of.
And then they go moving right back to the left, right, in that game. And I thought he was one of our worst players, honestly, this past Saturday. I mean, everybody kind of was 4-1. There aren't very many bright spots.
No.
But I mean, I just, to me, that was the biggest thing. If you want to go back to the back four, so be it. That makes sense. And I think you make a very good point that I didn't really think about. We had played and lost to Orlando quite a bit last year without much success. So maybe, change it up, create a little surprise effect, if you will. But when you move Zaha central, and we saw how well that worked, and then you decided not to do that for this game, and how ineffective he again was in this game. Any kind of thoughts toward that? I mean, what do you? I don't know.
I still think we're just trying to figure out exactly how to play with both Pep and Zaha. I think they're kind of getting familiar to each other, but I think they both have a game where they see the game better than maybe some of our other younger players, and they're learning each other's runs and tendencies. But I think when you have someone like Pat who draws your defenders in, and Zaha, obviously, every time he touches the ball, has defenders all over him, I just think I don't really understand why he went back to the left, but I do think that was something that we can look forward to maybe see that a way to get Zaha more involved and let us see what he does. And we have to also remember Zaha was out of playing for over a year, so he's coming into his own form as well. So there's a lot of learning there to be done, and hopefully we'll put that on the training ground and learn and move forward out of this terrible slump.
Okay, and well, Gabby, I agree with you 100%, by the way, as far as what we need to do with Zaha and getting him more central. But yeah, do you have any other thoughts on that as far as getting us out of this slump, Gabby? We need all the ideas we can get. So what do you think?
I would say maybe not going to the PGA Championship the day after you take a huge loss.
Calling them out a little bit.
On 4 times.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I did see Andrew Privet and Nick Scardina at the Uber lot at Quail Hollow on Sunday, so that was kind of cool. Didn't want to invite them to the channel yet.
You got to get them on the show next time if you're going to stand that close to them. Might as well. Hey, we got a show that has 7 or 8 people at least watching. So, I mean, I'm sure they would have chomped at the bit to jump on there, Gabby.
Well, I will say this.
Maybe they needed a mental break.
I will say this much. They are way smaller up close. That'd be my hot take. Yeah,
really?
They're actually really small people.
They are soccer players. Like I said, we're not talking NFL, linemen necessarily. So I guess but that is still a little surprising.
Yeah.
But hey, I hope they had a good time. Hopefully that cleared their head so that we can move into this week, because we got another game on Wednesday, right? I mean, we don't have time. Ain't no rest for the weary. Or like I said, we got to keep on rolling. So. I think that kind of puts a bow on it, though. Like I said, we all are frustrated at the lack of identity. I think what it's going to take is really Dean Smith jumping back in there and taking control of the locker again. And hey, this is the way that we need to be successful moving forward. It must get back to that. And sidebar, Kalina, make the saves that you typically make. I'm not saying you have to be superhuman every game like you had been up until a month and a half ago, but it's got a little bit leaky recently, and we need to make sure that he gets back to his A form.
Didn't he just become a dad?
He is a very vital piece to what we do.
Didn't he just become a dad? Or did he have a baby?
I feel like he's given up a couple of goals though that are not Kalina-like. You're going to give up 1 or 2 like that, but it's been 3 weeks in a row now that he's given up at least 1 goal where we're like, what was that?
It's actually been 5, because I looked back at the last 5 games, and there have been saves in each game. Now, I do think we're a little. He got us in this groove of, Kalina, he's going to make the save. And so now when he's not making some of those, we're like, what's happening? Yep. But there are definitely saves he should have made. he did take that ball off the face pretty hard in that Nashville game.
That's a
that I
good
think
point.
that also might have got him a little off his game.
I
But
thought they were going to sub him out
Yeah.
after that game.
So,
yeah,
but
good
he's
point.
definitely not on his A form.
Yeah,
so
so-
not playing like the player of the year from last year.
Correct. Yeah, get him back on form, reestablish that defensive identity, and then we'll let the rest take care of itself. That's, I think, a good point for everything. So, yep, that'll put a bow on it.
So on over the weekend, did you guys see that Columbus and Cincinnati drew? I feel like that was pretty shocking for Columbus against Cincinnati.
Well, it was. Yeah, Cincinnati took the lead in that one. I saw early, like a couple minutes in, they scored a quick goal, and then Columbus kind of wore on them late, got a PK to tie it. But yeah, good game.
I mean, yeah, that's the hell is real rivalry. I mean,
That is the hell is real rivalry in a. I was going to say in a bag, but I don't think that's the word I was looking for. In a nutshell,
There
that's
you
the
go.
word
There
I
you
was
go.
looking for. Yeah.
I mean, definitely, I think that was for like a hell is real game though. Seriously, like they both were fighting super hard to the end, and both really powerful teams, I would say, in the league.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, at
two of the
least
best, no
obviously
doubt about it.
Columbus, of course.
So we got this week, Columbus again.
Yep.
Good,
Yep.
hopefully.
Any others stick out to you, Gabby?
Yeah, I mean, so we've also, unfortunately, Montreal, as always. I mean, every week it's so sad. 6-1 against Toronto. They'll be my prayers every night moving forward. I mean, them and Charlotte. But I definitely want to see Montreal pull something out of that. Like, I'm a underdog type of.
At least they got a win recently, but yeah, back to their not so great stuff, I guess. 6-1 loss, no kidding. Amy, anything stick out to you on the scores that we're seeing?
Well, our rivals from the South, Atlanta, lost again. So, I mean, if we're going to lose, at least our rivals can lose with us.
Exactly. They can't
So,
laugh at us.
no.
They're still, like I said, we can laugh with them, I guess.
1-0.
Yep.
Philly, of course, then goes to the top of the table
Yep.
after beating them. And then, of course, the Pink Phony Club.
Yeah.
They lose. Miami losing
Tweet of the year.
3-0 to, I guess, their in-state rival, Orlando.
Yeah.
So
At home too, yeah. And I saw Messi was not happy after the game, which you lose 3-0, I guess you never are. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Miami right now. We've documented their slide quite a bit on the show already. I mean, they're not just losing now; they're getting destroyed, and so maybe it is a bit of their age.
Yeah.
Finally, right? I mean, you don't think people like Messi, but they eventually you got to age, right?
Sure.
And they have so many players that are 35 and beyond. So maybe
kind
it's
of like
catching up.
us.
A little bit like us.
And we're both in a slump.
Little
I'm
bit
just
like
saying.
us. Maybe onto something
Home
there.
field advantage isn't very advantageous
Maybe onto
now.
something there. Well, the ones that stuck out to me, obviously, I've been tracking Galaxy for you guys all season while we try to find them get their first victory. And guess what? We're still tracking because no victory for Galaxy this week. However, very good game from them. I actually watched most of that one. They did draw against their rival. They called that the El Trafico. But they tied 2-2 against LAFC, who is one of the top teams in the West. So actually good job by them, but still winless on the season. And we're getting pretty close to June. So tough luck there. And then really not much else happening. I mean, if you look at these, 22 of the 30 teams scored 1 goal or less this week. So not a lot of goals happening this week. It was a very defensive week in the MLS, I guess you would say, overall. So I guess that kind of handles that. All right, and now if we go ahead and, Gabby, put up the standings so we see where everything stands after this past week. You see, still in the West, a lot of conjunction. I don't think that's the word I'm looking for, but a lot of congestion maybe. Yeah, I think that's better. 2 through 11, only 9 points separating teams 2 through 11 right now, so a very tight battle in the West. Obviously, you see the Galaxy way down there at the bottom, 7 points behind second to last place. So they got quite a bit of work to do just to get out of the cellar. Don't know that they'll do it. Moving over to our conference, the Eastern Conference, though. Hate to look at these standings at the moment. You see Charlotte has dropped. There's now just as many teams in front of Charlotte as behind them. They are dead in the middle in 8th place. You see Philly did, I think, Amy, you had mentioned it, they did jump to 1. So the draw between Columbus and Cincinnati did result in Philadelphia jumping up to the first place for the time being. Congrats to Philly. And then, of course, Atlanta. They are now 14. They are second to last place. We're tracking them as they go down. Obviously, Montreal had a huge loss, so they didn't really gain any ground toward last. But we do see them tracking a lot toward the bottom there. So crazy to see. Can't say I hate it though.
Nope.
But yeah, that's where they're at, and so that kind of puts a bow on the standings there. moving into the news for the week. So it was reported at the game that we hit our 2 millionth fan. So shout out, his name was Michael Kendrick. He was the 2 millionth fan that entered Bank of America Stadium for Charlotte. We are the fastest team in the MLS to get to 2 million fans, which is a huge accomplishment. So everybody should be super happy about that. Let's get a race to 3 million now. Let's get there quicker to 3 than we did to 2. That's my challenge to everybody out there in the Twitterverse universe watching this. Let's get you out to the games and let's get to 3 million quick. Also, we have another midweek game this week. So we do play again in the U.S. Open. If you remember a couple weeks back, we had a game against North Carolina FC that we won. This is the next round, the round of 16. We will be playing DC United on Wednesday night. Paramount Plus, if you have it, you will be able to watch. Any just quick thoughts on that game? I mean, I don't need a full preview, but any thoughts?
DC United, I hope that we can get a win. I mean, I'm thinking, we keep hearing them say we're going to win these trophies. That's our goal, to win the trophies.
Exactly.
So here we go. We're round of 16. Let's get a win on Wednesday, get to the quarterfinals. Put these losses behind us and start our trajectory in the right direction.
This is 100% our best chance to win a trophy at the time being. Only 5 wins are separate us from this trophy right now. So yeah, I couldn't agree more. Big game on Wednesday. Don't know how many starters will play. They obviously didn't play hardly any against NCFC, but DC is a different animal.
And I don't think Kalina's making the trip.
I think his wife is in
she
labor.
Had a baby,
okay,
a little boy,
but he's just not making it.
Nope. According to Dino, I think that's
that would
what
make
he said.
sense. So, okay.
So I guess we'll see some Bingham.
Yeah, see a little Bingham in there. I thought he did well against NCFC, so we'll see how this one goes. And we'll see how they go. All right, and now last segment of the day, best segment of the day. I always save the best for last. What kind of started this whole show? It is the match week preview for Charlotte. So it is another repeat. So we played Nashville a couple weeks back as our second opponent. Got another one this week, and it's a tough one. Columbus Crew coming to the bank this time. Obviously, reverse fixture. Charlotte lost that one 4-2. Probably, I don't want to say our worst performance. Our worst was the game on Sunday, but up until that point, that had been the worst we had played, in my opinion, all year was against Columbus. Obviously, a very, very good team, sitting either second or third in the conference, as we just saw right there. Perennial powerhouse. Any specific thoughts that you have before I jump in?
I do think this is a chance that we can definitely get a win against Columbus. I think we did get outplayed, and we definitely were outshot. The corner kicks they got that game and the shots they took were crazy, out of your mind. But I think we just had a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes defensively. We had the handball Abada. What the heck he was doing?
He was a darn helicopter.
You learned that in Soccer 101.
Yeah.
Did
score a goal later.
Yeah, he did, but it was. He should have.
Yeah.
And then we got a penalty kick. Saha got a penalty kick, which hopefully he seems to be on the right trajectory as well. I'm gonna say Reem, great player, played in the EPL, but in the MLS, I just don't think we have seen that caliber in him. He has his moments of doing really well, but a lot of our goals we've conceded here of late, he's getting beat or overcommits.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, I think I'd even said that last episode as well, right? He's just obviously he's class on the ball when he's making passes. All right, he's one of, if not our best passer, on the team, but we don't ever get to see that aspect because the athleticism is so diminished at this point, right? And that's just what sticks out to me watching him play for sure right now, is just that, he's kind of, I don't want to call him a traffic cone out there, but it seems like they're going around him like he's one.
Yeah, they're definitely playing us on that side. If they see that as a weakness, and it'd be nice if we could kind of, strengthen that up a little bit. So
absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Like I said, we got to see some, kind of fight out of him. That was the main thing that I did, kind of going into this match. Typically, again, I do like to break down the film, but again, I did that a couple weeks back. If you really want to kind of watch, not much has changed from Columbus this time as opposed to 3 weeks ago, right? So Diago Rossi is still their best player, still their key player, right? That's the one that we would want to kind of key on as a team. I know he scored in the away fixture as well, so I want to focus on that. But Don't worry, guys. I did the work for you guys as far as the advanced research. I knew you guys were waiting, and I came through. So I wanted to figure out what could Charlotte really do that could separate them in this game specifically. And so I did go find a stat that I think could matter for this particular game. So Columbus, as it stands right now, are second to last in the entire MLS, not conference, entire MLS, in aerial duels won and in total tackles, meaning tackles for the per 90 minutes in a game. And so that to me screams aggression out of Charlotte, right? You go out there, you go be the aggressive team, you take it to them. We have tall players like Malanda, like Reem, like Patrick Ajiman that can win these headers over the top of this team that clearly doesn't win them, right? I think that's the advantage is getting the ball down the field in the air, play volleyball against this team, play basketball against this team. And I think that is a key that we can really expand on within this game. Any thoughts on that?
I would say like aggression, definitely, because I think if you look at some of the things that we're lacking these last few games is our grit. I just think we're lacking grit. Guys give up the ball and they're just like, not all of them, but I just think we need to have some grit found in those players. I mean, the one thing Bronico does is he will bring it and he is feisty 100%. And he will get under your skin. He's like a pest, and we all need to have that mentality of if I lose the ball, I'm getting it back.
Yes.
So
you got me fired up.
I'd be like, grit. Let's get it, boys.
Yes.
Show that grit.
I agree. Grit's a perfect word for this game. It's not going to be one that we win with beauty and grace.
Finesse.
Right? That is a game that Columbus beats us in pretty much every time. We go out there, we say this is our game, and we take it to them. That's how we win a game.
And get back our home.
Absolutely. Let's take it back.
The fortress.
That's what we built. Let's bring it back. Absolutely, 100%. Couldn't agree more. Get that identity that we had talked about at the beginning of the show. Bring that back. I think if they do that, I'll go ahead. We'll jump this right into the prediction time. I'll give mine. It's kind of more of a prayer at this point, but I am going to say Charlotte 2. I'm going to say Columbus 1. That is the prediction for this week. I think if we do get back to those basics, play that defensive-minded game, win those aerial duels, we can take victory from this in a 2-1 fashion. Goal scorers for the week. Pep Biel, he has been off recently a little bit. He had a groin injury, and that's been kind of hampering him a little bit. I think he gets back in the score sheet this week. And also Abada, he's been our most consistent goal scorer all year. I think that eventually, it could be a ball that Pat knocks down to him from there. He runs onto it, scores a goal. Those are our 2 goal scorers for the week. What do you think?
I'm going to go with my heart. Sure. Maybe not my head. My heart says 3-0. I think we're going to get back our defensive stand.
That would be amazing. Unless you mean for Columbus.
No. Although maybe we should predict the other way. 3-0. I'm going to go, if we win those aerial battles like we should, I'm going to go Pat with a goal. I'm going to go with Malanda. I'm going to get corner kick. Malanda comes in, gets another goal.
Okay.
And then I think I'm going to go with Zaha. I feel like Zaha might get some things going, and he has that grit. So.
Yeah.
But maybe he'll just find his way to the center if they don't.
There we go.
Just do it.
Okay. Well, there we go. So I got a 2-1 victory. Amy's got a 3-0 victory. I don't know, Gabby. We're giving everybody else a prediction here. You got anything?
I like your Charlotte 2, Columbus 1. I think I'm gonna agree with you on that one.
We're still with
it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Bronico and Pep. I feel like those are our most. And I know Zaha's kind of a diva, but I think that they play with so much passion. In comparison to how Zaha plays, I feel like Zaha plays so lacklusterly. But so that's why I'm gonna say Pep and Bronico, because I think they're gonna have so much fire this week going into it. So I would say, Pep and Bronico. That's my prediction.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope that I don't have the reverse again, because like you said, I think I've had a couple exact reverses there that would have helped out in the money on the gambling too. But that's a different story for a different day. But anyway, I think that's a good, that puts a bow. I've said put a bow on it a lot today. I apologize, guys, but it does put a good bow on it at the end of the day. Amy, thank you so much for coming and joining us on the show. Hopefully we can make this somewhat of a regular thing.
That'd be awesome.
Thought it was a very good
Get Brian on here.
Absolutely. So we'll get that figured out as we move forward, but great time. Hey, it's another week of Charlotte FC, which win, lose, draw, that's our club, and we're excited about that. So hopefully we'll see you all at the bank. Again, it's 7:30 Saturday night. Would love to see you all there. That's Charlotte for the week.